Hi there. This is just a quick video I won't say his name. A young man that wrote to me, and he described himself as not an adult. So although he doesn't say his age, I think that's pretty young. And I'm going to read to you exactly the wording that I'm responding to here. Let's see. He's talking about recent that I'm back into YouTube and the recent isolated places that I've been going to, and he said, it's got me thinking, and I was hoping to ask something, I'm quoting now, if you can't tell. What would be the best way to isolate yourself, not live on full off the land in a cave sort of thing, but to withdraw from interaction with friends? And I immediately started thinking, oh, you could go out to the desert and homestead, because you can, out in the desert out here, you can get these little, you can still homestead out here. You can build a little piece of property. You see them out there. Maybe I'll make a video talking about them. You see these little homestead properties that people built, these structures, and you can have the land. The government will give you the land, and you can live off there. Or you could withdraw to your mind. You can have a normal life, but then retreat back into there. Or you could just do your best to avoid society. And then, wait a minute, slap, 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 slap. What am I thinking? That's a terrible idea. It really is not a good idea to withdraw yourself from society, because you'll go someplace that you may not be able to come back from. And what do I used to call it? I used to call this when I used to do LylesBrother videos. I had a term for this. Oh yeah, in fact, I've got a video called Semaphores from the Edge over on the LylesBrother channel. And semaphores are like the signals, back in the old days when the pilots and the like on an aircraft carrier, and the pilots, they couldn't actually talk to the guys on the deck in order to hit the button to jack them off the plane. And they'd be using hand signals or flags, saying flag, and jumping spiders do this. Male jumping spiders especially have their pedipalps on the front. If you ever see a video pedipalp, and they're not talking hey to the females. They're waving their pedipalps, and they're signaling. Those are semaphores. And I've had this image of people that I've known, and that I've almost done it myself, who go so far away, they retreat from society. And what happens is when you do that, you become what you do. That's why I encourage young people particularly to try and determine some rough idea about the course of life that they want to live, and begin to do that, begin to live that life, because later in life you will be whatever you set out to do, whatever you start to do, and it becomes ingrained and implanted, and it's almost like becomes a part of your routine and your character, and it's harder to change when you get older. So take those adventures when you're young. Go to school as young as you possibly can, and continue as much as you can throughout your life, and be the person that you want to be. Now, if you withdraw from society, especially at a young age, and subtract yourself from the equation of societal interaction, the equation will go on without you, and new formulas and calculations will come by, just as the dead. When the dead are gone, they have these critical things that we all think that we're doing, that we stress about, but the world will stand still. I mean, I do it too. I go to work and I stress and I worry and stuff. But if I died tomorrow, cliche again, you all know this. If I died tomorrow, if you die tomorrow, the world will go on without you. The vacuum that your absence creates will be filled by others, and by other activities and routines performed by others and machines and society and groups and the whole thing. So society will go on without you. You leave us, society will go on without you, and it doesn't really care that much. And guess what? That in combination with the fact that you will become whatever you endeavor to be, to a degree, you will become a rogue individual. It kind of reminds me of rogue planets, periodically in gravitational formations out in the stars and stuff like that. Two stars may come close together, and then in so doing, some of the planets that surround those stars may be flung away. I had this great galactic simulator, universal simulator on my computer. I actually talked to the developer that made Universe Simulator, I think it's called. I actually talked to him. I was so excited about that program. You could create that. You could make solar systems and galaxies and change the gravity and have interactions. And I used to send Jupiter-sized. I used to create a solar system in there on my computer and send Jupiter-sized bodies hurtling into the system, and watch how it would interfere with all the planets in orbit. And periodically you could see them spin a planet out of orbit of its star, and it would become a rogue planet. And these rogue planets, they're in the, maybe tens of thousands or millions in our galaxy. They're planets that have lost their center and their gravitational heart. Their connection with the system that they belong to, and they're hurtling through space, dark and cold and lost, never knowing what's going to happen, or having no connection to any others. And in an attempt to be poetic in my description, that's kind of what you will become. And I've seen it happen to others. I've known people who have done this, and I've watched what's happened, and I've done it to a degree myself, and I know the consequence is not good. You can't escape whatever it is that you're thinking about withdrawing from. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to be a solitary individual. But if there's something if you're doing that, look at me. No, I don't mean it that way. I go into the wilderness alone, and I typically hike and I explore and I do everything alone. And sometimes, people want to go with me, and I'm kind of hesitant because I don't want to go, but it's not because I don't want others with me. It's not because I don't want their company. It's because being alone in wild places, to me, allows me to discover stuff that I couldn't find otherwise. I remember my professor David Bixler once said that. I was marching through the desert landscape in the painted desert, talking loudly to a friend, and I came upon David, who was a great professor and influence on me, who was trying to get close to a large hornet or a wasp in the desert, a solitary wasp, and the wasp flew away, and David looked up at me and he says, "And here comes Kurt." David had been doing something in silence and peace and solitude in the desert. It was very specific. He was after something. He was trying to just get close to a particular type of insect. There's more out there than insects. And I had come by and interrupted it with my company and my society. And I had done that. When I go into the desert, I'm seeking after something as well. But it's not escape from others. It is the silence that allows my mind to think clearly about things, and sometimes it's just recreational thinking. It's not, it's necessarily cogitating over anything, but just enjoying the peace and the spontaneity of it all. If that's what you're looking for and you're seeking your solitude, then have at it. Great. If you're looking to escape something else, like if people frustrate you at school or work, or you can't get that girl, or in the good sense, in a gentlemanly way, or you just find society frustrating, you want to get away, that's a bad reason to escape. It's okay to subtract yourself a little bit. Maybe go out and live in a community where you, like that desert community in a video I just recently did, where the boundaries between the homes are large. That might be okay. But if you subtract yourself wholesale, you will you will begin to live in another universe. And eventually that void, that vacuum that you leave behind will collapse. The connection, the bound between us, the routine that you have out there and wherever you're living, out there is not necessarily a place, but could be a state of mind, the bridge will burn, and you will become one of those rogue individuals, rogue to society, just like a dark planet, frozen and quiet, hurtling through inky black space, no longer connected to its solar system. It may sound like a great adventure, but it's a lonely, dark, and sad place, and as many do discover. Some can take it, most can't, and you're not even an adult yet. I don't think you're asking, be careful what you look for in this capacity. I would caution you to not do this. Do not leave us. Stay behind. Find ways to compensate. Learn to take on the challenge. This challenge that you're facing right now, the anxiety, the fear, all that stuff. This is the true boon and benefit and opportunity. This is the opportunity to learn to live with it, to learn to find a way to find your place with us. I tell you, if you go the other route, You may be one of those rare individuals who can survive that, but they're very few. And even if they do survive it, they become alien to the rest of us, and they end up off in the distance, waving their flags, waving their arms at what they found. And none of us can relate. And they may find truth, they may find wonder out there, but none of us can really relate. And they're madmen and madwomen who have left the fold and are hurtling away from our warm embrace. Stay with us. I really hope you do. Let's stop at that. About 10 minutes and 30 seconds. How do I do these things? I didn't even really think I was going to do these kind of videos anymore. But there you go. Okay, so I'll publish this and I'll send it out to you. And I hope that you are here long enough to at least see this. But now it's time to go and to have an adventure of my own in Irvine. Going to look at the Pottery Barn team for my daughter. I hope that she'll like it because I'm trying to bribe her to come live in America. Yeah, cool furniture for your room. See you. Bye-bye.